Oh, I absolutely believe this. And I wish there was some kind of survey that I could give to wyler shippers where I could test this out, because I absolutely believe the majority of people who like Tyler and make all the excuses in the world for his character and really ship him with Wednesday, despite all of the things that he's done, and that they say, oh, it doesn't matter because she enjoys it, blah, 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 he's a victim, blah, blah, blah. I absolutely believe that if you ask the majority of them what they think of Sydney Novak, and if you had them watch I Am Not Okay With This, that they wouldn't like her character. I absolutely believe that, because I know, again, that empathy exists. People have all this sympathy and all of this forgiveness for complicated, complex, angry, morally gray male characters that they never show to female characters. And if you want like a really great example of this, I never watched the show, but Breaking Bad was such a popular show, right? People were like in love with the character of Walter White. They were in love with that younger guy. I forget his name, but the young guy who was in the show who was like buddies with Walter White. They hated his wife, Skylar. Why? Why the fuck? What did she ever do? She was literally abused by her husband, and yet they hated her, right? And we see this play out in real life too. I mean, we saw it in the Depp v. Heard trial. We see it with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. People will always demonize women for the tiniest little infraction. Anytime a woman barely shows a tiny bit of aggression, or she maybe doesn't smile wide enough for you, or maybe she has a slightly sarcastic response to your comment, all of a sudden she's a mean girl, she's a bitch, she's like the worst person you've ever known. And yet a man can throw a woman out a third-story window, and it's like, ooh, woo, he didn't mean to do it, he just can't control himself, poor little baby, he was so traumatized, look at his backstory. So I absolutely believe that the majority of people who like Tyler would not like Sydney Novak. They would only like her if she had a dick in her pants. Like, let's be real here, okay? And it's not just about the homophobia, although that plays into it for sure as well. But it's also just like basic misogyny, right? Like, even if she was straight, or if she was bi, and if she had been with Stan, if she had liked Stan instead of Dina, I think she would still be treated the same way, right? Even if Stan and her were like the canon couple of the series. Because I saw so many people in the comments of videos about that show being like, oh, well, she was toxic because of the way she treated Stan. Yeah, she was not the nicest to Stan in a few different scenes, and Stan also thought it was totally cool to test her powers by talking very cruelly about her father unaliving himself. Like, that was really, really mean what he did in that scene, okay? And it makes sense for her to be pissed off and be a little bit snarky to him afterwards. So I think, like, it goes beyond just the homophobia of these people not being wenclair shippers, and it goes even deeper than that, right? Into just, like, plain, women are not allowed to be angry and complicated the way that men are. Like, women really are not allowed to have any flaws in their character the way that men are. I mean, look at how they demonize Enid. I've seen people post hate for Enid because she didn't tell Ajax that they had broken up in time, and then in the very same post they say how much they love Tyler. It's like it's insane to me. It's like, oh my god, Enid cheated, she's like the worst person in the world, and yet Tyler threw someone out a window, and like that's cool. Like, it's so insane, right? And you see it within the Wednesday fandom with the character of Francoise. And I've done so many videos about this, right? Like, the way that people demonize Francoise because she slapped Tyler, which, by the way, nobody's ever died from being slapped. People have definitely died from being thrown out windows and off balconies. She slapped Tyler after she was, like, tortured in an insane asylum for 20 years. And yet people don't want to forgive her for her trauma. So yes, absolutely. I think that people who love Tyler, the majority of them would probably hate Sydney. I think they would. And it is ideologically inconsistent, especially because, as I have said, Sydney is a more morally pure character than Tyler. Sydney tried her hardest not to hurt people. She never intended to hurt people. Tyler enjoys hurting people. He has admitted to enjoying hurting people. And he hurt people when he had no master. So you know, and they can never come up with excuses for that, right? When you remind them, well, he threw Wednesday out the window when he had no master, right? So Sydney is like a much more morally upright character than Tyler. She's way easier to defend if you don't have the misogyny and the homophobia. But you have to remember, everyone isn't dealing with a certain level of internalized misogyny, right? We all deal with it. All of us do. The difference, though, is like, are you willing to address it in yourself and work hard against it? And part of the work that I do on my TikTok account is about helping people address their own internalized misogyny. And it's also for myself too, because it's helping clarify my own values when I get tempted to fall into like my internalized misogyny. But yeah, I bet if you were to poll people who love Tyler in Wednesday, that the majority of them would not like Sydney Novak. And that's completely hypocritical, but I absolutely think that that would be the case.